Aries, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy for the next week via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. I hope that you are doing well, Aries. I hope that things are evening out, smoothing out in your world. We are wrapping up Scorpio season when I'm recording. These messages are always timeless. As a side note, use your discernment always. But yeah, we're wrapping up Scorpio season. Mercury's about to go into retrograde, as well as Mars. So, and Saturn just came out of retrograde. So I'm hearing like we have an opportunity to put our money where our mouth is. We've been learning a lot. There's a lot shifting, a lot changing in the collective. And as we're moving through these lessons, Saturn gives us an opportunity to kind of show what we've learned. Yay. Now, it can be a little bit annoying, but thankfully, you know, the energy is a lot more grounded and stable than what it has been, i.e., if you're able to have that awareness, if you're able to kind of step back, have that bird's eye perspective, it's not going to feel so overwhelming or triggering at the same time. So we will start with this energy cleansing, set the tone for the reading, a little blessing for you, a little blessing for me and for the reading. It's also a really good time to set your own intention. So any messages you would like Spirit to deliver or questions you would like answered, definitely give those over. Be open to receive. And I also do personal readings. I use tarot, astrology, mediumship. If you want me to look at your specific situation, I would be honored to help in any way possible. And if you need a little bit more of a regrounding, rebalancing, I do energy healing and Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultation. I find that when we are balanced in our mind, body, and soul, it gives us the perfect opportunity to make decisions we actually want to be making, right? So that's the name of the game. Maybe you don't have a problem with that, Aries, because you're like all about like your vision and making things happen. I have a lot of respect for that. You know, but it's still important, right? It's still be important because sometimes if we push ahead too quickly, we end up misstepping or making a choice that maybe took us down a different path we weren't really intending. So it is all a learning lesson, obviously, but at the same time, it's nice when we're living in alignment with ourselves, right? It brings a whole new meaning to fulfillment. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm, cleanse it. And release it from our being so that we may see, sense, understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Mama Love. Amen. All right. So this week, the energy's a little bit, it's not as crazy. It's not as extreme is what I want to say. We're seeing, yes, there's tension. Yes, there's things that are happening, things that are kind of bothering us, etc. But there is this energy around focusing on your stuff, not taking responsibility for other people, other situations that really don't pertain to you, especially if they're not directly involving you. Keeping that balanced level head as you're navigating these, you know, this, the next few weeks or however long, sorry. The moon is in opposition to Venus, excuse me. We've been having a lot of issues with Venus where she is kind of turning this blind eye. We've also been seeing this bottle energy come up a lot lately in the past couple readings that I've been doing. And it really is talking about people's situations repressing what they think and what they feel, excuse me. Someone doesn't want you to know something is what I'm hearing. There's that tongue twister energy. It goes back to this element of repression. Maybe they don't know how to say it to you. Maybe they don't know what are the right words. But this is the energy that it's giving off is pressure cooker. And this is the part of what we're seeing in the astrology where things are not being dealt with, right? Things are being repressed. People are trying to pretend, trying to kind of lure you in, so to speak. And a lot of it is affecting our mental, our emotional. There's this element of the difficulty behind being honest with ourselves, having that awareness, having that clarity, as well as wishing it was different, kind of being nostalgic and hopeful of the past or of the future as well. And that's where that moon in opposition to Venus is not helping us at all right now. Venus has kind of been a little bit of a hindrance lately, in my opinion, and I love that energy. But when it gets too complacent, it can really put us in a bad position, meaning that when we're not being strong, when we're not tapping into our strength, our power, our magic that is innately within us, someone is protecting something at all costs. Or I'm even hearing for some of you, if this is you, I apologize. We have Judgment at the bottom of the deck, a wake-up call. Someone's ready to pounce is what I'm hearing. They're waiting. They're waiting to have this conversation. This bulldog energy is really talking about how someone has not been managing their emotions appropriately. And I feel like you can feel this energy. I feel like this is someone lurking around you, Aries. If it resonates with you, take it how it fits, as coming from you. But it looks like something is coming to head. Something's culminating and finding some closure around it finally, or that's where it's headed. It might not specifically be this week. Well, I don't know, the Tower. All right. It might not specifically be this week. That feels like this is outside of you. I feel like this is something that has happened long ago. I feel like you're let me backtrack a little bit. So with this bottled up energy, some of this is pertaining to a previous situation that you have gone through. This could be with this bulldog energy is what I'm hearing. Someone was just kind of very ruthless, or still continues to be so. Or if you know that if you go try to talk to them, communicate, it's going to be a messy conversation. I feel like for some of you, you might be hiding a little bit or just avoiding that conversation altogether, because you don't want it to go down that road is what I'm hearing. There's something, I feel like this feels a little bit like an infestation to me. Something or a group of people said something that I don't know if it was necessarily true. Maybe it was an observation. Maybe it was kind of like an offhanded comment. And it really kind of brought up some drama. I don't know. It seems like either it created an argument, created a fight. And, I think it brought up a lot of things that hadn't been said for quite some time. And I feel like you're in this space where you're still trying to process through with this hangman energy. But you are nervous because whether you got in a fight with someone else or something just didn't work out you're a little nervous of their energy. Not because you can't handle it, but because you don't want to. It's like, it's not that you don't have the strength. You just don't want to deal with the drama. You don't want to deal with the BS, right? You'd rather, because I feel like someone also had a lot of repressed thoughts and emotions around this. And I feel like it made something way messier, and that's what happens, right? When we don't talk about things, it does become that proverbial pressure cooker. And I feel like you kind of know the reason you're avoiding this is because you know that once connection happens, it will combust, right? I don't know what the science behind that is, but there is this energy of like, I don't know. I feel like someone's upset. Someone didn't get what they wanted. And so instead of maybe being honest or having another conversation, they're letting it build up. They're letting it pent up. And it does feel like a lot of this is going to be coming to the surface, whether you want it to or not. I feel like this is someone who, like, maybe there was just a disconnect with the Empress and Knight of Pentacles. This is Taurus, Libra energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn with that Knight of Pentacles. Just operating on completely different wavelengths is how this comes up. Someone is a little bit more stable, grounded in their approach, in the way that they are handling things. And I feel like, and someone's not, right? Someone's not. Someone's being a little bit more difficult and harsh. And again, you don't want to get wrapped into this. This can even be a group of people. There's a lot of people coming up for you this week, Aries. So lots of opinions, lots of eyes on you. Be conscious, be mindful of that. I don't know that you're necessarily going to have to deal with this bulldog energy this week. It looks like, okay. Yeah, I don't know that this is necessarily coming in this week because someone's still really pissed off. Someone's still really upset. And I feel like they have enough awareness to know that they don't necessarily want to make things worse. That's in their mind. However, there's still, like I was saying earlier, these repressed emotions. So be mindful, be conscious of this, Aries. It might blow up in your face a little bit. Like I said, I don't feel like this is necessarily this week because there's a lot of people around, and I'm almost hearing this like buffers. Like, and sometimes like having a lot of people involved in a situation is good because it does give you a little bit of space to continue to process through what you think, what you feel. Like I said, it does feel like this, I don't know, like this is outward forces that are directly attacking your situation, whether it's people gossiping, saying things that aren't really true, or I don't know, maybe even being kind of like mean, harsh about an energy. It's not your vibe. And I feel like when you were standing up for yourself or other people, or like kind of standing your ground in your opinion, people didn't like it. Someone didn't like it. They made some false judgments as well, as what I'm hearing. They made false judgments about you. That's also where this pressure cooker energy is coming through. And that's where for you, I don't know, like I feel like honestly, the more that you're kind of witnessing what is going on, the more you're finally realizing what you have been kind of bottling up or shoving down. And it's not fun. This is, like I said, it's not the worst week ever, but there's enough going on that it's forcing us to be honest with ourselves. And that in and of itself can be super humbling, especially when we feel a certain way, like when we have a certain perspective on a situation, and then that whole paradigm shifts. A lot is coming to the surface with this Tower moment, and it is forcing you into this warrior position. I feel like you have to be really strong. You have to be very vigilant. Maybe this is part of how you prove your point, sticking to your guns, right? But also making choices and living in alignment with those values, right? So that you are walking your walk, talking your talk, etc. Because some of the haters that are lingering around thinking, assuming one thing or another, it's not your responsibility, nor is it yours to take on. And if you do, then it's like a misstep, right? You slip up. And this has a lot of strength around this week, Aries. You might be getting in some messages, some communication that brings some clarity. There is a lot of duality within this relationship, the masculine, the feminine, or just difference of opinions, different of perspective, different of approach. Sometimes that doesn't match up with other people around us in our environment. But at the same time, we have to know what to give weight to, right? What to give credit to, credit where credit is due. If the situation isn't in alignment with what people are saying, then yeah, stick to your guns, Don't let people bully you. Don't let them try to project something on you that's just not that. Someone had a hard time with the way a person handled a situation, and I feel like maybe they're having a hard time getting over it. It's their ego, it's their pride, and you just got roped into it, and now you're trying to work yourself out of it. I don't feel like you necessarily can walk away from this group of people because they are in your future. But at the same time, it's readjusting what these relationships look like, maybe even how much credit you're giving these people, and it's forcing you to honor yourself, your own life, what you have going on that much more. You don't need the drama. You don't want it. You don't need it. And so you're putting yourself first, which is super beautiful. Not always easy to do, Aries, but you are the sign of self. And there is a lot of healing energy in your sign right now. So super amazing. I love this. I hope that this reading helped. I hope it helped navigate what you're going through, find a little bit more fluidity, consistency, courage, and empowerment, especially because it's not your shit and you're not responsible for it. Thank you for all the love you bring to the channel. Definitely drop comments below if it resonated. I always love to hear. Thank you for your time and energy. Always, I'm sending love and blessings back your way.